everybody. Welcome to episode 240 of Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast. We are a Paul McCartney talk show mainly dealing with the solo career of Paul McCartney. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Tom Hunyadi. You may know me from my other show, Talk More Talk, a solo Beatles video cast. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about this topic over here that we're going to do today. But before we get to that, let me introduce to you my partner in crime, my co-host, my backwards traveler. He is Andy Nichols. Andy, my friend, always good to see you. How you doing, buddy?
You rock that white hoodie very well.
I love this hoodie. I
Uh,
love this freaking hoodie.
yes.
I don't, it's comfortable, it's warm, and it's like pajamas. It's like that. It's like comfort food. It's just like, Ma's meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
The meatloaf.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, Tom, and happy to record a new show with you once
Yeah.
again. Hot on the heels of some Beatle news and a great article that obviously will just kind of keep Paul centric because you all talk more talk and talk about the rest of this stuff. But
Right.
we'll go through it, and I'm doing well and
Yeah.
happy to be back. Anything really pending in the news of Paul? I mean,
Well,
him and
just
I know they were in
yeah.
Paris a few days ago.
Yeah. I mean, that was last week, or by the time this is posted, it'll have been 2 weeks for
Right.
Stella's Holiday
Yeah, that was
show.
a while ago.
But what is the date today? The 12th, March 12th.
The
Is that
11th.
correct?
No,
The
we're
11th.
recording on the 11th.
Yeah, we're recording on the 11th, but it was just announced today that Paul McCartney will appear at this Jimmy Buffett tribute
The
show at the
tribute
Hollywood
show
Bowl
today. Yeah, we just heard about that today.
on my freaking birthday, April 11th. And I'm not going to be there. Oh well.
Get on a plane and
Anyways,
go.
well, I'll be making a trip back from Arizona with all my goodies.
Yeah,
Um,
April 11th
you
at the
know,
Hollywood Bowl. Keep the party going. A tribute to
yeah,
Jimmy Buffett with Paul headlining with the Eagles, Bon Jovi, Zach Brown, Jackson Brown, Brandy Carlisle, Kenny Chesney, Eric Church, Sheryl Crow, Scott Emmerich, Jack Johnson, Caroline
yeah,
Jones, Mac McNally, Jake Owen, Pitbull, Jake Shembakuru, I don't know who that is, and the Coral Reefer Band.
yeah. That's quite a lineup. Impressive. Um,
So he's not. He's
that's
still. That's his first stateside show in 2024.
that is true. So those wondering if he's going to tour this year, I mean, we're in March. Usually we get what, like a 4 or 5 month advance notice before he starts touring. So it looks like almost the summer tour is out now. I mean, the summer tour would have been announced by now, don't you think? Whether it's here or in
Um,
Europe or the UK. So maybe a fourth quarter tour, hopefully for our friends in the UK
maybe, but
or
when
or
Paul has
or
played here in the states recently or the last couple of years, it's always been during the summer. He hasn't played America in the recently in the fall. I want to say that might have been 2017 or so or 16 was when the last I think 2017 I saw him in Newark at the Prudential Center, and that was an indoor 20,000 seater arena. So he generally plays these kind of big arenas in the summertime. The last 19 and 20
yeah, but we
20.
just saw him in what, 21 or 22. But that was what months were those? Were those during the summer months?
Well, you saw him in
This is
April.
one.
You saw him in
Yeah,
April and at SoFi.
yeah, yeah.
So it was
SoFi. Yeah,
right. Well,
yeah.
was that indoors or out?
No, that was indoors.
That was
Yeah,
indoors. True.
yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah.
But big. That place is huge, though.
Oh, it's massive. I mean, all those stadiums that he played were
Right. So
massive.
I will
But
see. I mean, but to your point, it does seem like if we're gonna maybe this little press release that dropped today is the inkling of a summer tour that we would probably have to find out about soon.
I would wonder what, I mean, if he's gonna play some Jimmy Buffett songs. I would wonder what he would play. Maybe my gummy just kicked in or
I'm
something.
sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure that
Anyways,
one's gonna get played.
yeah, yeah. But other than that, I do want to show something that I got in the mail the other day that was really quite interesting that I've known about. But I didn't think I would find one of these. And that's this Junior's Farm from Angola. I posted this on our Facebook page
Hmm.
the other
Oh, is
day.
this the one with the
Okay.
mistake?
Yeah, yeah. So it's, as you see, it's the regular Junior's Farm group photo there at the poker table, and you see Junior's Farm and Sally G, right? Okay. Again, this is a country of Angola. Okay. Now the unique thing about this is the label. Okay. Now this label, that is the Happy Christmas, Happy Xmas, War is Over label. Okay. Now the other unique thing about it is it's just the Sally G label on both sides. So you see Sally G there, okay, and then when you turn it around, it's the same thing
On
with
the
Sally
label,
G
but
again.
did you
Yes,
play it?
yes. Now Junior's Farm is on one of the
Okay.
sides, so it is Sally G and Junior's Farm. That being said, it's just the one label now, so you can put this in the who the hell's running the
Mm-hmm.
running this the ship category, but really interesting. I've known of this because there's a website that shows a lot of the um, Apple centric
Yep.
labels for all the
Would that?
solo
But
stuff.
not only would it be Happy Christmas, but wasn't that the 45 for also the offending Lennon song too? Didn't that have the same label?
I have to go back and check. I
Pr-
have to go back
Pretty
and check.
sure that has the same kind of look on it for "Woman Is the Woman" song.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying, but I have to go back and check, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know it is the Happy
Nice
Xmas War
mistake.
is Over
Cool
since.
find.
Yeah, it's really cool find. It didn't break the bank or anything like that, so I was really happy with what I found it for. So that. Also, thank you everybody from checking out our latest episode with Daryl with the Record Collector presents Paul McCartney. Had a
Oh,
great time talking with him. It's he was nice enough to share on this that article on our show on the Twitter feed, and Record Collector shared it as well.
thank you.
So yeah, so thank you for that. And our good buddy Owen was shared it a bunch of times as well. So again, thank you to him. Really had a great time, and Andy, kudos to you for getting the guy and booking him. So that was wonderful. And
He'll be back. He will be back on two
yeah,
legs. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. He seemed like
We're
he had a really good time.
yeah, energetic, passionate. He knows his McCartney, and he was a delight to talk to. And we're really happy with the feedback so far. A lot of people seem to have really enjoyed it.
Right. I mean, we can have him on next time we talk about Back to the Egg. I mean, we can do a full dive into Back to the Egg with him, just kind of like how Doggett wanted to come back on and talk about Ram, because he said
Yes.
Ram was his. So we'll have to get Doggett back on and do another show
Mm-hmm.
on Ram. So that was a lot of fun. So today we're going to discuss this new Rolling Stone 100 countdown. You know how Rolling Stones love to do their 100 countdown lists. Hey, listen, we've done plenty of
Oh,
rankings
sure.
on
We've
this.
we've perfected that.
Yeah. Anyways, so Rob Sheffield, who did the book, who wrote the book Dreaming the Dream. I'm sorry, Dreaming the Beatles. Sorry, Dreaming the Beatles. Haven't read that book, but he wrote that. He wrote this 100 best solo songs. So he did tweet about it. He says, "I've written a 15,000 word tribute to John, Paul, George, and Ringo in their wild solo years after the Beatles. I go deep into the 100 greatest Beatles solo songs. It's a long read for true fans, written with love, but these lads make it worthwhile." Now, he didn't say what he should have said. He said, "I go deep into the 100 greatest Beatles solo songs." What he should have said was, "In my opinion, these are the greatest Beatles solo songs," because everybody's list would be different if they did it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
Um,
So, but yeah, so it's interesting.
it's interesting.
So I,
He's got some choices in there that we'll go through that we probably agree with, and then some that we're like, what? So
exactly. Exactly, and just like some of our lists, we've had people go like, Why put that? Where did you put that song?" But hey, look, it's our list, right?
our
It's
list.
Rob's list. It's Rob's list. This is Rob's list. He
Yes.
he put this together with love, care, and I mean you could tell. I mean, and then he writes about each song passionately as well. So to break it down, Paul had 30 led the way with 33 tracks. I mean, it makes sense. He's had the longest career, right?
Yes.
He's put out the most output. John was second with 30. George with 24, and Ringo with 13. Which, hey, that's not a bad showing for Ringo.
No, and it's
Um,
really not a bad showing for John, considering that his recorded activity as a solo artist was only 10 years.
Good point. Good point, my friend. So yeah,
Unless really, when you think about the time he took off.
that is true. That is true. So looking at the again, we're looking at it, and we're starting off with 100. What you see is it was it what was it again? What was
Uh,
100? How? Yeah, how
how?
from Imagine. Yeah. So the first one from Paul we see is what, number 99, and
Which,
that's which, you know,
come
it made
on,
the list.
Rob.
It made the list, right? But at 99, with a little luck. Listen, I love With a Little Luck. It probably would have been a little higher on my list. I'm
Hell
sure it would have been
yeah.
higher on your list, so. But the No No song for Ringo at 97, which I liked on the list. Okay, 96. The next one from Paul. Cut Me Some Slack. Co-written with Nirvana. Surprised that this is on that list.
Hey, Rob likes it. Good for him. Wouldn't
Yeah,
wouldn't have been on my list.
yeah, great rocker though. I love the
But good
cigar box
rocker.
guitar.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? Oh, that was the other thing too. Though news. There was a concert in New York City the other night called Love Rocks or something like that, and Dave Grohl did
Okay.
a version of Live and Let Die. I don't know if you saw that. And
No,
they
did not see that.
awesome concert. Dash Out was talking about it, and I saw the video the other day, and he did a really good job. Awesome job on Live and Let Die, because I just saw Dave Grohl there hammering away. But
Cool.
yeah, that was a good
Well
version of
then,
there.
yeah.
Starting over at
So yeah,
95.
yeah.
Did the Day the World
Day
Gets
the World
Round,
Gets Around. Yeah.
94. Old Dirt Road, 93.
And
Okay,
here you
listen to what the
go.
man said. Another big 70s
Another,
hit,
another number
92.
one. Yeah, another 91. Another number one, all the way down at the bottom of the list, which is fine. Again, it made the list. It would have been on my top 100, Paul, which it was anyways. So, because we did this too, right? We did a
Yep.
top 100. You
Yes,
know.
we did a couple years ago.
Yes, we did.
Broke
Yeah.
it up in, I think, into 5 shows. Waiting on You All,
Right.
George.
Uh,
Stardust, a cover from Ringo at
which
90.
which was surprising that he chose something from that first Sentimental Journey record.
Yeah. Out the Blue, great
Out the
track.
Blue. Now, great track. So glad he included Out the
Yes.
Blue from Mind Games. Yes. Okay. So what do we got? 88 next from
Bluebird.
Paul is it's Bluebird again. Another song that wouldn't be in my top 100,
Nope.
but it is what it is. Okay. Try Some, Buy Some, which I don't know if I
George.
would include.
No. Okay. 86, Arrow Through Me.
Eh,
Would have been on
Arrow
my
Through Me.
list, probably a little bit higher.
Definitely a little bit higher. Great track. Should have been a bigger hit for Paul back in
I love
'79.
the quote in this that what he talked about. He was talking about when I was in Tokyo, I used to go to a vinyl bar, but the bartender didn't have any Wings records. So Harry Styles told Rolling Stone in 2019. So I brought him back to the egg. Arrow Through Me was the song I had to hear every day when I was in Japan. Harry Styles, you just went up a rung on the ladder for me.
Good on you, buddy.
Ah,
Now the next one, but go ahead. Sunshine Life for Me, written by George.
Crippled Inside,
Crippled
John.
Inside. Yeah.
Love and Song
Now
from
this
Venus.
now here was
Good.
yeah, big surprise. Big surprise. Was not expecting this song
No,
on the list,
album cut.
but
Album cut
good.
making the top. Yeah.
Yes. I love it, and that's why I really like this list, because it's not just hits, right? There's some really good deep cuts on
Yeah,
this
and I
on this
just saw
list.
Rob Sheffield at the Beatles Symposium
Oh, you're right.
at Monmouth of just a few last month when he on the 60th anniversary. He didn't talk. I had missed his lecture because I had gotten there late because the place was located in a weird spot. But Rob Sheffield was there, and I know that you guys might get him on Talk More Talk, and I hope you do.
Yeah, hope we do. I did get a selfie with him at the 2018 White Album
Yeah.
Symposium. But another surprise right here, Lipstick Traces, from '78 from the Bad Boy album.
Okay. Another big
Yeah,
hit.
go ahead.
Another number one. Uncle Albert Halsey from Ram at number 81.
Yeah, again, another number one hit down at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, so
But
he's got the big
again, it's on
hits.
the list.
It's
Yeah,
on the list. Yeah. Watching the Wheels. Can't argue with that.
yeah.
Every Night 79.
Great. I think it belongs on everybody's top 100 list. That's just my opinion. Would it make your list? Let us know.
Yeah.
What was that?
Cosmic Empire,
Okay.
George. That's an
See,
outtake.
there's a
One.
few, yeah, there's a few things from that he picks from George that were on the that they were on the All Things Must Pass box set, which I was
Mm-hmm.
really surprised because they're just so recent, and that you would include these tracks that were just more recently officially released. I'm sure he may have known them from bootlegs, but
Officially
whatever.
getting released not too long
Yeah,
ago, right?
yeah, right.
Woman, 1980, of course.
Yeah,
Harry's song,
Harry song.
a
Yeah,
somewhat recent
yeah.
Ringo song about Harry Nilsson. All right, here we go again. Dear Friend at 75.
Another surprise, another deep cut. And if it was me, I mean, this is the only song that represents wildlife. I don't know if I would have picked this song.
No,
He must really love this track, which is fine. It's a really good track. But I don't think it's anywhere near the best song on the album.
no, we could have had, you and I both would have had some people never know on that list
Or
for
or
sure.
or even tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So
Hold on
yeah,
from John.
Hold On's great track from Hold. Yeah.
No Other
Another surprise right
Baby.
here.
Yeah,
Another
from Run
surprise.
Devil Run.
Run double run. Yeah, total surprise here. I didn't think he would put stuff like this on there, right? Like covers or tracks written by other people. I
Right.
didn't think he was gonna do that, but obviously he loves the song. Paul does this song masterfully. I mean, it's a great cover from Paul.
It might as well be hit. I know it's an old song that they did. It was a B-side, obscure, like I said, an obscure UK skiffle group, the Vipers. But Paul made it its own. When I heard that in '99, I'm like, that's like a Paul song, and he does it so well.
Yeah.
Worthy addition. Any Road from George. Love the choice. This one, this song would not be on my list.
It would not be on my list either. It wouldn't even be on my top 200 list, to be honest.
Hell no.
My Valentine at 71, and to put that song above, listen to what the man said with the little luck, arrow through me.
Just hey, Rob.
Yeah, but
All,
again,
all due
it's your
respect.
list. Yep.
Just hey. Nobody
We're having
told
fun
me.
here.
John, 70.
Yeah.
Good one. Next. Scroll.
Next.
Come on. 69. Seize the Day. Love the inclusion of this song.
Yes, I knew you would. As soon as I saw that on there, I'm like, Andy would definitely approve. At 69, I'm okay with that placing right there. It's a good track. It's not my favorite from McCartney 3, but it's a good track.
Yeah. I love it, and I'm happy that it was included in Rob's list here. He said he worried Seize the Day sounded too Beatley when he wrote it, but figured I've got to admit it's what I do. It's the way I write songs. Of course it's going to be. Back Off
Anybody can be
Boogaloo.
Yeah, if anybody can be
68.
Beatley, right?
He can.
It's Paul. Yeah.
Back Off Boogaloo. 68.
Yeah.
Queenie Eye. 67.
I love Queenie Eye. I really do. Glad it's on the list. I got no problem with the placement of this track.
Now, see, people are going to go back and say, well, when you guys did your top 100, you didn't say you would include that. Well, opinions change with time.
That is so true. That is so true. I would bet you that my top 101 list would be different from when we did it a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to
Certainly
redo it
would.
now, it would be totally.
It would be a little different for sure.
Yeah.
Next, what we got here? That looks like So Bad. 65.
Again,
Worthy choice.
Another worthy choice. Again, I'm really shocked at some of the songs that he picked so far for McCartney, good or bad. I mean, I was kind of surprised for sure.
Calls So Bad. A Here Today, Gone Today hit in 83 for sure. For sure. Beware of Darkness, 64. George, nice. Junk at 63. Of course, got to be on there.
Junk X63, again, another worthy track from the McCartney record, which it won't be the last song from the McCartney record.
That's for sure.
Either. Yeah. So again, Junk would definitely be on my top 100 McCartney.
Yeah. Isolation, John. Temporary Secretary from McCartney 2 at 61.
61, again, another surprise. Was a single but didn't chart. Paul played that in 2016?
16. Well, yeah, as Rob says here, it sat around unnoticed for decades until the 2010s when rock hipsters suddenly realized it was a lost classic. It was never lost. It always was a classic. The rest of the world just caught on, which is what we always say.
Yes, that's very true.
It was never lost to us. Losers Lounge, Ringo.
I love this. Is actually my favorite track from Buku's the Blues. So I was totally happy when to see that he put that on the list.
Yeah.
Love that
Dune. And again, another unreleased one that kind of came out later that he threw on from George. Interesting.
Right, but we kind of knew that from the anthology.
Right, we knew that, the strumming, them sitting down at the tree and all that. And we knew that song existed. It was lingering in the ether there for a little while. Scroll. Come on, computer. There we go. Fine Line, 58.
Again, no problem with that. But then again, I mean, is this song better to you? I mean, obviously it's better to Rob. It's better than songs like With a Little Luck, Arrow Through Me. I wouldn't have put that song ahead of those. But again, it's his list, and he can do what he wants. But,
great album opener from Chaos and Creation for sure. And I like that like that it made it.
Yeah,
love
the track.
Gonna keep scrolling, and the page is not responding well. Internet. John, whatever gets you through the night, of course. I'm surprised that that's not a little higher. George, All Things Must Pass, the title track at 56. Of course, that would be in there. Stepping Out from John at 55. Yep. Put It There, 54. We got some Flowers in the Dirt love on here.
We got some Flowers in the Dirt love. I think this is the only track from Flowers.
I believe so.
Kind of surprised that that's the track that represents.
It's funny. I don't know if Rob references some. He quotes Paul a lot on some of these entries, and he's quoting the lyrics book. So I'm guessing Rob went to the lyrics book to pull some of his words in there for what Paul was going to say about it. So obviously, he put it there. It was in the lyrics, and he referenced it here. Good choice, though.
Yeah.
I found out, John. Little Willow 52. From 52. Yeah. Little Willow. A song written about Ringo's ex-wife, Maureen, who passed away. And, yeah.
Beautiful song. You want to cry every time you hear it. It's not one of those, like, it's sad, right? It's kind of like almost a song where, like on the Plastic Ono Band, where, it's kind of like you almost have to be in the mood to hear it.
You got to be in a mood to hear it, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But when you hear it, it really packs a punch.
For sure. Happy Christmas War is over. Yep. Which, if you didn't know, I see it.
All right.
I see it.
But what were you gonna say?
No, it's just interesting how he notes about how John's Happy Christmas now was revered, but when it came out in 71, it didn't do anything until after he died. And then that Christmas that he died, it became like the song, the Christmas song. But it was not considered a Christmas classic in his lifetime, sadly.
Right. Which is too bad, because it's a wonderful song.
Yep.
And there's always that debate, which one's better, that one or
Oh, they're all good. Okay, so now we're getting to the 50. I Am the Greatest, yes. written by John, which actually, just side note, we're going to get a version of that on this upcoming Mind Games Record Store Day EP, which, drop the mic, can't wait. I don't care what I have going on that day. I'm going to pull a Hunyadi and be at my local record store like at 3 a.m. to make sure I get that. Get out of the way. Get out of Times Square. I'm going to get that record. I'm going to get both, the translucent or whatever that one is, and then the regular. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go for that or no?
You know what? I'm still looking for it. Being in another state now, I'm still looking for a record store that's going to participate. The one that's closest to me, the one that's closest to me is not participating in Record Store Day, so that sucks. So
damn.
Yeah.
Well, if I can help you out, and get, if you want one, let me know, and I'll try to get two if they allow it.
I appreciate that. If I don't find one, then hopefully, that the In Groove, the next day they put the stuff up on their website. So hopefully I can get.
Yeah, and as I just learned today, because we're both Elton John fans, we've got a 50th anniversary double LP version of Caribou coming out, which I know is not Tom's most favorite album, I've grown to love it a lot in the last couple of years. So and there's a version of Snookeroo on that. Thank you very much, Ken Michaels, for the heads up on that, because on their latest episode of Things We Said Today, he talked about that. And then, sure enough, so that we've got Record Store Day, for April is looking pretty good. So I'm going to be looking for those titles.
Never been the biggest fan of the Bitches Back, or
No.
Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
Yeah, but there's lots of other great tracks on Caribou. Pinky, Dixie Lily, and of course one of my personal favorites, Ticking, which I don't think.
Give the album another chance.
Get it.
Yep. All right, where are we at?
49, Run of the Mill, one of the George's greatest songs of all time. And I'm sorry we're kind of infringing on Talk More Talk time here a little bit. We're just going to go through the list. You guys are going to do probably a 3-hour show on this list.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because we're also solo Beatles fans of all four of them.
Right. I don't want to. This is going to be your guys' thing. I don't want to take too much time. We'll just stick to Paul. Monkberry Moon Delight from Ram at 48.
Another deep cut. Vocally, this is one of Paul's most challenging vocals, which I've always enjoyed. The vocals on this track. I love it.
Always scream. Now, this is like when you're a kid and you're learning this album, you're like, damn, I'd love to know what the lyrics are, because I don't understand what he's saying. And of course, we didn't get any lyrics on Ram
right.
or McCartney or Wildlife. Yeah. Right. Like, what is he saying here?
Piano up my nose. What is it? Yeah.
Piano up my nose.
My nose. Yeah.
We're not in good time. Rob says, we're not in good day sunshine territory here. No, we're not. Not with a song like that. I did not realize that Screamin' Jay Hawkins did a cover version as early as 73.
Yes.
That's cool.
That I knew. Yeah.
Give Me Some Truth, John at 47. Great track. Has its roots back into the Get Back, Let It Be days. Here Comes the Moon from George from the self-titled in 79. And depending on who you ask, they might even like that better than Here Comes the Sun.
I don't know how that could be possible.
I don't know how. I don't know either. Another ballad from Flaming Pie. Calico Skies. Again, it's in that same vein as Little Willow. For sure. Beautiful track. Love, John.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ringo's got Rory and the Hurricanes here from Postcards from Paradise.
I love Rory and the Hurricanes. That's one of his better of the biography songs that he does.
It is, although Liverpool 8 is his best one. That song is fantastic.
Fair enough.
Another outtake here for that.
Om Hari Om. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to say that one, but yeah. Okay, 41, big hitter, 1985 from Band on the Run. It's a spaced out New Orleans pastiche mixing Huey Smith style piano with a touch of sci-fi dystopia set in the near future. And he says, as you can hear, a bit of Bowie in there. Definitely.
I would have had this higher on my list, but I love
for sure. Oh man, there's the 73 mullet in full form, and a Siggy too. Nice sweater. Deep Blue, George, 71.
Yeah, that's the B-side.
B-side to Miss Bangladesh, yeah. Number 9, Dream. One of John's best at 39.
That may be my favorite Lennon song at this moment in my life.
Right? Mm-hmm. There we go. A high. Now, Paul being a little naughty there. And at number 38, there, with the great winged double-decker bus there over Europe.
Yeah, the band track. You got great rocker. He was performing it up until this last tour. I think he took it out of the list. But,
he did.
But he was playing it for like about 4 or 5 years there. Great.
Yeah, I got to see him do it a few times. Rob, he also got busted for growing pot on his farm, a peak for Paul's rock star rebel cred. You're 16, Ringo from 73.
Yep.
George Harrison, Don't Let Me Wait Too Long from Ken Michaels' favorite album.
The single that never was.
Yeah.
Single. And matter of fact, a number was created for a single, but it was canceled at the last minute.
Withdrawn.
Yeah.
New York City from Sometime In. Que Pasa, New York.
I don't know if I would have had. I like the song. I think it's one of his best rockers. I mean, he doesn't rock. I mean, he doesn't like rock a lot in his solo career.
No.
but this is, I think, one of his best, hard hitting rock songs from his solo
There are
career.
not too many, so when he does, that's a
Right.
that one does it for sure. Another Day, Paul's first single at 34.
Great first single from Paul. I love the fact that he had this song released on the first day of the lawsuit that he had with his other three bandmates. And it's it's just
Yeah,
you know, I think it was number three, if I remember correctly, here in the states.
great. There's Jonathan Dakota, Beautiful Boy, of course. That's got to be on there.
Obviously,
Um,
we know the history with Paul and that song being on the Desert Island Disc.
oh yeah, 82. Wah
Well, he
Wah.
prefers. Looks like he prefers the live version over the studio version. I usually prefer the studio version over the live version, but again, it's his list.
Dominoes,
Yes,
31. Good for
I
you,
mean,
Rob Sheffield, throwing some later era Paul on there. And that is a great entry.
very happy. I was pleasantly surprised and love this track. I think it is probably my favorite track from Egypt Station.
Yes. Dominoes is an eccentric guitar ramble from 2018 about letting go of your past and starting over. In time, we'll know it's all a show. It's been a blast.
Yeah,
So true, Paul. So true.
yeah.
Handle with care. Wilburys, 30. Got to be on
Yep.
there.
Well, that was the track that pretty much created the Traveling Wilburys. Love it.
Hey,
I
needed it.
remember when it first came out. I gotta tell you, when this track first came out, I loved it from the first time I heard the track. The Traveling Wilburys album, that first one is just magic. I mean, you get a lot of super groups, right? And sometimes what happens, what comes out of these super groups, it doesn't always mesh. But what those five gentlemen were able to do on that first Traveling Wilburys album, and listen, the third volume three is not bad, but it's not volume one.
No.
It's not volume
Few
one.
records are. That record from start to
Right.
finish is a home run album.
Yeah. Well, except for Margarita, but other than that,
Yeah, other than
uh,
that,
but I mean, every track, heading to the light,
Heading for the
that
Light.
George sings, yeah, thank you, heading for the light is a banger. Love that song. You're not alone, Roy Orbison, banger. Tweeter and
Tweeter
the
and the
Monkey
Monkey
Man,
Man.
Dylan,
In Jersey,
banger.
anything legal as long as you don't get
As long as
caught.
you don't get
Boom.
caught. Ooh, yeah, you know that album was just pure gold to me.
And the walls came down.
Boom, boom, all the way to hell.
Oh man, what a track! What a
Yeah.
track! Yes, Wilburys. I'm glad that they were on the list here. John and Mother. Again, that's Mother. That's again. Yes, looks like he has almost all of Plastic Ono Band on here so far. We got Mother. What do you have?
Yeah.
Mother. Love.
I
Isolation.
found
I
yeah,
found out. He's got 4 tracks from there on there right now.
another one to come.
Yeah, I'm sure. Live and Let Die, as we just mentioned before, the cover at the start of the show. 28.
Yeah, I mean, a couple heavy hitters now coming up for Paul. 28. I mean, where would it be on your list? A little higher? Maybe
Probably a
top
little
20
higher.
for
Probably
sure?
probably the
Yeah.
back 50 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Let's scroll.
What do you got?
Blow Away George,
Blow
27.
Away.
Great track. Weird video, but great song.
Yeah.
Give Peace a Chance, 26. Nah.
I know I wouldn't have
Early
given
19
Give Peace a chance. You know.
You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have. No. I couldn't. I just wouldn't.
No.
Love this
Now,
entry.
Now this is yes, early 1970, 25 for Ringo. Again, singing about his three other bandmates. Perfect. I love it. I love that it's included.
Perfect. Perfect. That's it's and really at the time he's brokenhearted and he's talking about his friends, there. Jenny Wren from another Chaos entry. Probably wouldn't have included this in mine.
Perfect.
You?
Really? Absolutely. Absolutely.
You would have. Okay. Why are you not being a good website today, Rolling Stone? What is life, George? 23.
We're almost there.
Yes, and of course he references it how it was used in Goodfellas to a great deal when Henry's trying to make the sauce and avoid the FBI and looking in the car and driving. And there's another one.
His nose
from there.
His nose got a good workout that day. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Working class hero.
There you go, hero. Yeah, another Plastic Ono Band track right there. Yep.
Yeah. Be Here Now, another Material World track.
A track that I have just come to really, really appreciate these days. Be Here Now. I didn't give it two shakes of a piss. Years and decades ago. I reevaluated this track, and I think it's one of his most beautiful songs. Glad it's on the list.
Yes, agree. Oh My Love from Imagine. Here Today. Okay, now we're inside the top 20, and now
right.
This is where if you've already looked at this, you might think, okay, it's kind of pretty obvious with the ones he's chosen for Paul. Not surprised that it's this high. Of course, we would have it on our list as well too.
Agreed.
Here we go. But 40 years later, Paul and John call response keep going with Paul finishing his friend's song Now and Then. Love it. Apple Scruffs, George, 18.
Would not have this song. This would be if I was doing a George Harrison countdown list, this would be at the bottom of the list. I cannot stand this song.
No, you don't like Apple Scruffs?
This and what's the other one on All Things Must Pass?
What?
I Dig Love.
Love. Yeah.
Those two songs, I am just.
Yeah. I'm with you on I Dig Love. I'm not a big fan of that one. Apple Scruffs, though, I think is great. I love Apple Scruffs. I do.
Fair enough.
Jealous Guy, 17. Thought it might be a little higher, actually.
Love the track.
Let Me Roll It, 16.
Right. Apparently, he's not on the same wavelength with the rest of us that are just burnt out on this song. But again, it is what it is. This would not be this. This would not be this high on my.
It wouldn't, but with the underdub coming out, that underdub version has kind of reignited it a little bit for me. Not to hear it live in concert, but that version of the underdubbed kind of was like, wow, this is pretty powerful. I don't get so tired of it now because we've got that other version to listen to, which is just awesome.
Fair enough.
Photograph, an obvious choice. Yeah. Ringo's biggest hit, of course. Instant Karma, John, 1970, of course.
That would be on, of course.
Yeah. Yep. My Sweet Lord, of course. Heavy hitters now. Heavy hitters now. Jet at 12.
Jet at 12 definitely deserves to be this high.
Yes.
Again, this is just one of those tracks when you do listen to Band on the Run that you definitely look forward to listening to.
For sure. Next, if we see the screen here, John and Oyoko probably wouldn't have had this that high.
No, not this high. No.
10, George.
This is a big surprise. Big surprise from the 33 and the third album.
Yep.
Pure Smokey, for Smokey Robinson. I did not think that he would have a track like this high.
This high.
In this list.
Right.
But again, deep cuts. I mean, he's got a lot of great deep cuts in this list.
He does. Imagine, obviously. What?
But again, I mean, this is kind of controversial in a way because this is, I mean, of the four, right? John has that universal song, right? He has this song, Imagine, is universally loved. I mean, it's one of it's probably the most important song that all four of them have written or done, recorded, whatever. So it's kind of surprising that it's this low. Now, I would, obviously John being, having a John song at number 9 makes sense, right?
That was his number.
Yeah,
that was his number. Yeah. Too many people. 8.
Yes. Love this placement of the track. Too many people. Again, the whole John and Paul thing back and forth back there in the early 70s.
And here we go again. It took decades for Too Many People and the rest of Ram to get recognized as genius. No, it did not. It's been genius for the last close to 30 years that I've known it. and probably people that have liked the album longer have known it. It's but again, these are articles written for the masses to go. Oh, too many people. I'll give that track. I'll check it out.
Well, I hopefully the people that do check out this list and they haven't. This is a good list for people for
Starters. Yeah, make yourself a Spotify playlist or Apple Music playlist, and according to what Rob ranked them, and listen to them. And what do you think? Isn't it a pity 7?
Yeah,
gotta be on there.
Yeah, not a surprise.
That actually might have been, but that would be my number 1 George song, I think, if I had to pick one. For sure.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Band on the Run at number 6. Again, yes. Is it his best song? Maybe. Obviously, it's not because there's one more Paul song on here. But you have to respect the song, right? You have to respect the album. A number 1 song, a number 1 album. This is the album that, that coincided the critics and the audiences. I mean, it's universally loved. It's the album that he'll be remembered for.
Yep.
So
it's got to be on there somewhere.
Right.
I love this entry here, number 5. Home run. Yeah. Rob Sheffield, knowing it. I love your ranking of Mind Games on this list. Absolutely awesome. And I didn't know this either, too. He goes, if you ever doubt John's genius as a singer, hear the way he stretches the word mind out to 10 syllables without letting it slip. See? John could sing. It wasn't just like, John had a voice, man. He could belt it out. And he's right. I had to listen to it again. And he is just, I love that ranking of Mind Games, and very appropriate given that we've got the box coming out in a few months. Agreed. 4, It Don't Come Easy. Ringo is one of Ringo's early biggest hits, written by George. Or help on a co-write, of course. Yep. George, Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth at 3.
This would not be my highest charting George song.
No, right?
At all. Yeah, no. But I mean, again, another number 1 hit from George. But I like it, but I don't love it.
Right. God at 2. Wow.
God at 2. Now, I probably would have put God right here because I do think that this might be his best song, no matter what anybody would say about, okay, it's just a list, right? He's just, saying what he did. I think it's a very important song. I think it was a very important song for John to write and to sing, and letting the whole world knows how he feels about
at that moment.
At that moment, right? Exactly. So
yeah,
I think the song might be the best song he's ever written.
Yeah, because it was John. He sang and spoke from the heart based on how he felt at the time. Okay, so he might have disavowed some of those lyrics later on, but at the time, he puts his heart and soul into what he's feeling, and that's what you hear in that song. So I give Rob a lot of credit for putting it in that, because it's not a song that you're going to hear and go, "Ooh, that's a nice happy song." That's a pretty serious song from a guy going through a lot of crap at that time, and Rob put it at 2. That's pretty awesome and brave of him to do that when you think about it, because it's not it's not Bebopaloola. It's a serious freaking song. And of course, number 1, we can guess what it is. Maybe I'm amazed.
Listen, the opening piano chords, okay, his vocals, what the song is for him coming, Linda pulling him out of the bottom of the barrel, bringing him back to life, bringing him back to what, he does best, right? Those vocals in that song, the guitar solo throughout the song. I mean, everything that's played on this track is played with emotion and feeling. You definitely get a sense of how important Linda is to his life when you hear this song. That's why, for me, the studio version will always be over the live version, because it's just, for me, it's more raw and powerful of a performance than, the Arena Rock, 76 version, or any version that he's played live since. Doesn't, for me, have anywhere near the power and emotion that the studio version has.
Understand, a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people love the live version too. I go back and forth myself too. I there are times when I really enjoy the studio version too, because of how raw it is, and it was new, and it was to your point, you make a good point about that, and I go back and forth. I really do with depending on my mood. When I think about the studio cut, the rawness of the Beatles is still so fresh, right? By 76, he had really turned Wings into a well-oiled machine and had changed that song a little bit live, with the really kind of, the flashy ending and the extended guitar solo and things like that the studio cut does not have, right? The studio cut, you hear a little bit of it, but live it becomes a whole other thing.
Whenever I'm listening to that song on headphones and those opening piano chords come on, I
fade in.
Hair stick.
Yeah.
I get the goosebumps. The hair on my neck starts, standing up. It's just.
It does.
So
and then you start thinking about seeing that original promo film and the slideshow and the video that accompanied with it. It was such a awesome first musical statement that obviously most people said, okay, that first McCartney album really sucks, but that Maybe I'm Amazed, that song is great. That was what a lot of people felt. It was like, hey, the first album was not that great, but Maybe I'm Amazed is a great track.
Yeah, but that last, that second to last track on that album, oh my God.
Yeah, and you can't listen. So he has a Paul song as number one, and one of Paul's best known songs wasn't Band on the Run. He had Maybe I'm Amazed in there, which is pretty awesome. And
I am totally fine with that as the number one.
Right off the top of your head, what are some ones that are off the top of your head that you would want to throw on there?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that same question, but Junior's Farm for one. Take It Away, Silly Love Songs.
Yep.
Those are the first three that pop to my mind, and there's more too. Obviously, that's just not.
Beautiful Night from Flaming Pie.
Beautiful Night.
No more Lonely Nights.
No More Lonely Nights. Absolutely.
My Brave Face.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reggae, probably. P.S. Love Me Do.
No! Get out of here with that. But there's a few. Obviously we all have our deep cut favorites. We could have thrown on No Backseat of My Car on that list.
No, Back to the Seat of My Car. Absolutely. There you go. I'm sure you would have loved to have seen the medley on there.
Yes. Yes, I would have. Even though our friend Darryl Easley doesn't like it either, so you have a friend in there. He didn't like it either.
I do.
But yeah, there's a couple. But off the top of my head, like Beautiful Night, some of the bigger ballady ones. No More Lonely Nights, things like that. Were not on there. Tug of War, the title track, which I know you're not crazy about, wasn't on there. He didn't have any of the mega hits on there either. No Ebony and Ivory. No Say.
Pipes of Peace, I think, definitely belongs on a list like this. Not only is he great lyrically, but musically, it's also brilliant.
Yeah, no, it was. Listen, I congratulations to Rob on that piece. Nice to get a solo.
Yes.
A solo of 15,000 words. Bravo, and I hope you guys get him on. And maybe we'll get him on to talk about the Paul songs.
That would be great. That would be great. Let us know in the comments section, guys. What did you think of this list? How would you? Were there songs that you would leave out? Obviously, there are. Obviously, there's songs that you would put in. Give us. You don't have to do a whole 100 list.
Nah.
Just tell us. What are some of the changes?
Yeah. So the breakdown again was Paul. Yeah. Paul had 33. John had 30. And George had
24. And Ringo had 13. So, again, I was relatively happy with the selections from George and Ringo.
Yeah.
John, obviously I don't know if I give Piece of Chance in there.
No.
But, again, that's the great thing about these lists is because we can talk about them. Nobody's list is right. Nobody's list is wrong. They're your lists, and that's what matters.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him throw "Bring on the Lucy" on there from Mind Games.
Of course, you would.
You don't like that song,
or and you probably wouldn't mind of any track from the rock and roll album either.
No, I wouldn't have. Is there any John songs on the top of your head that you didn't see on there that you would have added?
Well, yeah, I know for Mind Games.
Oh yeah,
I would have put on there. Maybe give Piece of Chance out and put I know on.
Definitely. Definitely throw I Know on there.
I am so looking forward to this Mind Games. I cannot.
Let's go. Should have came out in 2023. It would have been 50 years then. Now it's 51. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, let us all know, people. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Again, we have T-shirts if you want. You can email us at twolegspodcast@gmail.com if you like a T-shirt. The T-shirts are black with the white lettering on there. We are going to be at the Chicago Fest in August. We don't know what we're going to do yet. We're still up in the air, but we're looking forward to that. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please, we're getting close to that 2K mark
1.92
soon.
now.
Yeah, something like that. So getting really close, and please, we'd really love your help to get us to that 2K mark. Okay.
Almost. We've been we've been
For
we've been so close to that
I
2K for a
know,
while. Come on, we're
I
getting there. We're trying. We're
I
trying.
know. We're getting really close. We're also getting really close to our 250th episode. Really looking forward to that. We got a lot of great guests planned. People that we've been, trying to reach out to. You never know who's gonna say yes. You never know who's gonna say no to coming on the show. It's always interesting to see. I remember, and listen, I remember reaching out to Mr. Khan, producer of Driving Rain
Yeah.
and Memory Almost Full, and he wrote back and politely said, "Listen, I mean, I'm in a good place with Paul right now, so I think maybe it's best that I don't come on a show and talk about him." So, and I respect that. I mean, listen, I mean, you can obviously, there's other people that I've reached out to and never responded, so,
Right. I want to give a
anyway,
shout out to
yeah,
I
go
think it
ahead.
was Owen who. Oh no,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't Owen. It was David Ghosty Wills who shared
Oh,
a link with us to a really cool
right,
podcast with a gentleman who talked a lot about who talked with. It wasn't a new podcast. It was from 2 years ago.
right,
And he basically interviewed a lot of people that worked with Paul in the '80s. Steve Lipson, Trevor, Hugh Padgham, and
yeah,
Julian Mendelson, who we had on as well, and what it was like to work with him. And that was a fascinating listen to that podcast that Ghosty shared with us, especially the Hugh Padgham section, because that was not he was very frank about working with Paul, and to hear him talk about the press to play sessions was a very good, interesting listen. But I listened to it last week. Driving around, and it was awesome. Thank you for sharing that, David, because that was
yeah.
that was a good listen.
I mean, that whole, well, we should probably do another press to play type thing here soon because it is fascinating when, you know, he starts off with Eric Stewart, right? And he calls Eric Stewart brilliant after doing a bunch of sessions together.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, and Eric Stewart believes he's going to be the producer of the album. And then all of a sudden, here comes this big producer, big time producer, Genesis, Phil Collins, and then he's pretty much taking over. But then that kind of goes sour as well, So those whole sessions were really interesting.
they
Maybe
were.
we might have to do a deep dive into that one
Deep
day.
dive into it. Maybe try to get a guest or two, maybe on there, and
Yeah, absolutely.
do that for sure. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, thank you everybody. We're gonna close out this show. Andy, anything you want to add before we sign off?
I've got a new show going up on my channel at some point that I got to work on. That I did. It's with a buddy of mine over at a college radio station, but it's not quite ready yet. But then some concert reviews to come up as well too, with some concerts in April. And it'll be busy. It'll be busy 2024 with concerts. So stay tuned to my channel, but I'll have some stuff on there eventually too.
Cool. And then by the time this is posted, I think the next no, maybe next Talk More Talk might be out by the time this is posted. And I think we've got two different ideas. We're either gonna go talk about this list that Rob Sheffield just or we're going to go over the Paul is Live. We're going to revisit Paul is Live from 1993. We're going to talk
Ooh,
about that whole 93 live era of
first
Paul.
time you
Really
saw him.
interesting. Yeah, first time I saw him, the fact that the live album was so close to the Tripping the Live Fantastic and the
Yeah,
differences between the two, including uh whatchamacallit, rehearsal tracks,
yep.
right?
But he did that with Tripping the Live Fantastic
He
too.
did that too. He did that too. Right, exactly. I mean, not including Another Day
Yeah, that was a big
on that
miss.
CD.
Or off the
Uh,
ground.
or Off the Ground, exactly. Exactly.
For the tour, for the album he was promoting, and the album track doesn't even go on the live album. Come on.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean, so we don't know which one we're gonna do just yet,
All right.
but you'll see as by the time this is posted. But yeah, so a lot of fun things in the pipeline for both shows and for Andy's other channel as well. So be on the lookout, people. Again, subscribe to the channel and thank you for everything. We really appreciate it. Keep those comments coming. So for Andy, I'm Tom, and as always, everybody have a great day and a beautiful night. Take care, everyone.
See ya.
You've been listening to Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast, hosted by Tom Hunyadi and Andy Nichols, with musical contributions by Dylan